Hello knitters, today I'm going to demonstrate the knit stitch working in the Continental knitting style. And I'm going to begin by demonstrating how I hold the yarn. I'm going to be holding the yarn in my left hand, and for those of you who know how to crochet, this is going to be extra easy for you because it's the same hold as you would use to crochet. You begin by laying the yarn over your pinky like this, and you go all the way around the pinky, and then you're going to pull the yarn up through the inside of your hand and over your index finger, like that. And this is important to have good tension when you're knitting. And then I hold the knitting needle like that, just to demonstrate it again. I go around the pinky and up over the index finger, like that. It gets more and more comfortable as you practice it. Now, to work the knit stitch, I'm simply going to go up through the first stitch with my free knitting needle, and I'm going to pull a loop through like this, and then I'm just going to pull that first loop off. And that is the knit stitch worked in the Continental style. You go up through the stitch, pull a loop of yarn through, and then pull that loop off the knitting needle like that. And you can see that the yarn glides perfectly through my hand, like this. And it is a nice tension that's not too tight. I'm actually not holding my fingers tightly together. I'm just letting the yarn flow through my fingers like this. And what happens when you knit row after row in the knit stitch is you come up with one of my all-time favorite knitting stitches, which is called garter stitch. And garter stitch is wonderful because it doesn't curl. Now, most of the time when you're knitting, you'll be fighting a natural tendency of the knitted fabric to curl, much like if you ever cut a t-shirt, the edge of the t-shirt will curl up because it is a knitted fabric, and that is the tendency of all knitted fabric. But if you just knit row after row, you create a fabric that doesn't curl, and it's called the garter stitch, and it's one of my favorites. And when you reach the last stitch, what you do is you turn your work. You move your knitting over to your left hand, and you knit another row. You can see the garter stitch forming here, and it looks the same on both sides, the front and the back. And it's a very good practice to knit an entire scarf in garter stitch just to get really used to it and really comfortable with the knit stitch in Continental style. Thanks for watching, and remember, there's no wrong way to knit. If it works for you, then that's the right way.